This was the beatdown of all beatdowns. What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. So today's video is going to be a little bit funny, hopefully. Except for the guy that was involved. If he watches my channel, my bad. I don't want to bring up any bad memories. But it's Thursday. It's morning. Kind of do a lighthearted video. Things could have been worse, but let's get into it. So this video is about a beatdown. Now, this took place in the 90s. And during the time, some of my homeboys from my neighborhood used to go to this particular rival neighborhood and mess with their girls, right? Now, me personally, I don't think I remember ever one chick from that particular neighborhood that people were like, damn, homie, she's bad. I don't remember one, not one. Thinking back, I don't remember one chick from this rival neighborhood where they were like, hey, homes, the chicks out there are hot. They're fine as a motherfucker. None of that. I don't remember that at all with this neighborhood. But for some reason, my homeboys were going out and messing with these chicks. So apparently they had something. They had something right. Well, they lived in some apartments by a Stop and Go. Those of you that know, Stop and Go is a convenience store, right? And the apartments were about a block away, and my homeboys used to go over there, and I swear, I think for a fact, 2 different incidents occurred at those apartments. It was always a setup. I think it was 3 incidents, but I know for a fact 2 incidents occurred at those apartments messing with those chicks, and I didn't understand why they were going out there personally. But so this story takes place during the daytime. One of those times, my homeboys went out there. And usually when they went out there, they would go in 2 carloads. And this is one of those times. So there was around 8, 10 homeboys there, right? And they decided to walk down to the Stop and Go. So they go to the Stop and Go. And 3 of my homeboys go inside. The rest stay outside. Now, the homies that were going were from the projects. My neighborhood, there's a clique in my neighborhood called the projects, the VPR, right? I don't know how this happened. I don't know why this happened. But in my neighborhood, the majority of the big dudes that were like real big or real tall, real fat, like whatever, like the biggest dudes from the neighborhood, somehow, mostly every single one of them is from the projects, from the VPR, right? And the 3 that went into the store happened to be 3 of the biggest dudes from the west side. So they go in, and like I said, the other ones are standing outside. When the 3 homies that were inside were walking outside, a guy from that barrio that we're in is walking up and completely disregards the homies from my neighborhood that are standing outside. And he proceeds to jam up the 3 big-ass dudes that just came out of the Stop and Go, right? Hey, where you vatos from? That's what he said. And from the talk of the neighborhood, and when the story was retold, and it was retold a lot, and there was a lot of laughs involved in our neighborhood. And so he asked, hey, where you vatos from? And the 3 homies like looked at each other like, is this vato serious? And have you ever heard the term, he got ragdolled?
And I will not be bullied by that.
True story. This fool got ragdolled. The homies grabbed him, and like for those of you guys that are old enough to remember, because I don't really see them around anymore. They used to have these stands where you can go and buy a newspaper. it's a little metal stand, and you know, would usually have 2 or 3 different newspapers. You put a quarter in, I think, or 50 cents. I think on the weekend you had to put in 75 cents for the Sunday edition. Well, they picked him up and they threw him at that. And obviously he was shook up, but when they threw him, they ran over and grabbed him and picked him up, and then they threw him at a wall at the store. They threw him at the wall. And then they picked him up, and then they threw him at a van, a parked van. And then they picked him up and they threw him at a telephone pole. Woo! Imagine being a gang member and seeing like your worst enemy and being like, fuck, these vatos come up in my neighborhood. And then next thing you know, you're like, oh, damn. When is this gonna end? I've never heard of a story like this ever from anyone else. I've never heard of it happening again. And one of them was my celly in the county, right? And I asked him, I go, hey, Honza, what were you vatos thinking? He goes, I don't know what they were thinking. He goes, but I was thinking this is crazy. Like they broke a lot of bones in the dude's body, and they never, he was like, homie, we left him there. Like, we were like, fuck it, let's bounce, eh? And they left him there, completely beat up, and no one threw a single punch. Now, you guys know I like to have a message to my video. I don't know what the message is. I don't know. I need you guys to get in the comments and let me know what the fuck is the message to this video. That guy got beat up in a way that I don't think anyone has ever gotten. Imagine getting through. You're like, you think you're a grown man and you think you're a gang member and you're hardcore, and you are getting treated like I don't know, like what was he treated like? He obviously wasn't respected enough to where they said, hey, I'll get down with this vato head up, or even I'll sock this dude. No, it was, I'm gonna throw this vato at everything I want to throw him at, and I'm gonna laugh at him in the process. Do you think he ever went to stop and go after that? And let me tell you about, look at. And people aren't going to believe that story probably. And it's 100% fact, right? But an example. So the one that was my celly in the county, he's one of the main dudes from my neighborhood, from that clique, from the projects, right? You know, people say that I have big hands, right? No, my fist, I swear, the size of his fist was like 1.5 of my fist makes up one of his. And there was a situation that happened one time, and it was a dude from another neighborhood, another rival neighborhood. He was, you know, later somebody from my neighborhood wound up killing him a few years after this. He was a big dude, man. Rest in peace to that guy. But he was in my neighborhood, and he lived in my neighborhood actually. And he was walking, and he tried to punk one of the homies. And my Sally, my homeboy, the big dude, just was like, what the fuck? And socked him, right? And look, I don't know if the vato liked his shoes loose, but those of you that don't like to tie your shoes tight, let me tell you something. Tie them tight, because you don't want to be on the losing end of this story. The homie socked him so hard that he literally flew like a good 3 feet, knocked out, but his shoes were still over there.
You got knocked the fuck out!
His shoes were where he was standing, but he was actually getting really good sleep over there. Fuck. Anyways, man, hopefully you guys, some of you guys, it brought back some funny memories back when people weren't getting stabbed and shot, where it was just you know, hey, You know, you guys exchanged hands, or unfortunately, in the first story, you got thrown at everything. And I'm pretty sure, I know for a fact, and see, I don't want to say the neighborhoods, and this goes back to even my prison stories. I don't like to say wins and losses, and I don't want to say like what neighborhood took the L's on those. There was 2 different neighborhoods. But I know for a fact that I have homies from both of these neighborhoods that watch my channel. They comment a lot. And so I don't want to be disrespectful. They'll know when they hear the stories, especially the guy that got thrown at it. Then again, who knows? He might have never told that story. He might have told the story that there was 30 of us. Fucking vato. But anyways, that's my video for today. I want to make sure I get it out to you right now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them. I'm out of here.